Fans, welcome to PennZone. This is PennLive sports editor Austin Herzog. I'm alongside high school football expert, trending news guru, Brian Linder. Brian, man, it's playoff. It's week 2. Things are coming fast and furious. How you doing tonight?
I'm starting to look around, man. I'm looking at these scoreboards. I'm excited. We're winding down, Austin. It's an interesting night out there in the Pennsylvania high school football world, my man. I know we got a couple games. We got a couple games going on right now on PennLive, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we do. We're actually PennLive is streaming 2 games tonight. You're seeing one on the third screen here. We've got Manheim Township versus Cumberland Valley from Manheim. Manheim, the Blue Streaks are leading 14-0, but it's been a really close one. Manheim's the number 1 seed in 6A. So the fact that the Eagles have it competitive, that's been one that a lot of eyeballs are on. We're also streaming Bishop McDevitt at Conrad Weiser, and the Crusaders they're on a crusade tonight. They're up 42-7, taking it to the previously unbeaten Scouts. So yeah, we got a couple good ones that we have our team at. We got Bruce Badgley and company over there with McDevitt and Conrad Weiser. If you want to check that one out, go to PennLive.com. Check in with Bruce and company and producer Megan. Quick to the draw. She's over there. We got the gang out there, and then we got our new videographer Mateen there in Manheim on the video for that one. So we got a couple good ones that we're producing. You're here with Brian and I as we're gonna keep an eye. Oof!
Look at that run up the middle, McDevitt.
Ooh, we almost made it in.
So McDevitt's beating up on Weiser. Let me tell you, here's one I want to throw in there, and we can talk about this game we got up here a little bit. Statewide, how about this? Third quarter, Troy 53, Southern Columbia 20. So looks like your state champs. How many times in a row now? Looks like Southern Columbia's done. Don't see him coming back from that, my man.
No, I certainly wouldn't think so. I mean, that's all. You know what? I've always felt that way, though, is that the margins are so thin in the smaller classifications. Man, you get a couple injuries, and can you really? It's so hard to just keep the level the same year after year. Yeah, you establish a great program, but I guess all good things come to an end, and it seems that way that it is for Southern Columbia tonight in terms of their streak, state title streak.
Yeah, they're getting smoked. I don't think anybody really expected that from them, though, to have it come to an end like that. So
yeah, I got another while we're talking statewide, Brian. In PennLive's Class 5A rankings, we had Chester in at number 1 for much of the year, including most recently. The Clippers are getting worked by Ruston tonight. The latest on that one was 28-0 in favor of the Knights.
We're talking 38-8. So
I was just going to say, yeah, now it's 38-8. Yeah.
SportsStream is user generated. So for people that don't know, it's usually fairly accurate, but it could be a little off. But it has right now 38-8. So
yeah, so that's another one. Yeah, we got a few good ones. Yeah, that my good buddy who I raised up in this business, Owen McHugh, out covering that one between Ruston and Chester.
Mid-Penn-wise, Mechanicsburg 42-3 over Cocalico. Got that one on YouTube over here. Shippensburg looks like they are losing to Conestoga Valley 28-18. We said McDevitt up, I think 42-7 on Conrad Weiser. We had in 4A, Twin Valley 40, Susquehanna Township 13. And I think all of us kind of picked Twin Valley, and one of the reasons why is they have Brett Myers, their coach. We know they run the ball, and as explosive as Susquehanna Township has been, that's kind of been an issue for them through the year. I mean, they lost to West Perry to run the ball pretty darn good. So it looks like they're going to be tapping out there. Aliquippa's down right now to Thomas Jefferson on the statewide, 28-13. That would be a big one. You know, a lot of people expect Aliquippa to be there every year, and they have DeQuay Hayes, the Penn State committed running back, who kind of reaffirmed he locked down his commitment this week, right, Austin? You saw that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we reported on that one. Yeah, Tyke, who you previously had on the PA High School Football podcast at the start of the year, reaffirmed his commitment to Penn State this year. Basically, shut down his recruitment. So he'll be headed to State College come next year.
Last score we had on Trinity and Schuylkill Valley was 14-14. Been a good year for Trinity. We'll see if we can find something there.
Yeah, I mean, we were just on that Mechanicsburg one. I think it is worth pointing out that Mechanicsburg's having a great result, but that's also a Cocalico team who was in the state semifinal and district champion last year. So that's obviously I think they took some losses, but in terms of roster losses, but still to be able to take down a good program and really Mechanicsburg is proving they're the real deal.
Yeah, I mean, that's been the question about Mechanicsburg, right? I mean, they're undefeated, but their strength of schedule is not great at all. They haven't played a lot of good teams. Their best win was Shippensburg, and Shippensburg's losing tonight, and they only have one loss. I mean, but we kind of had the same question about Shippensburg. Their schedule wasn't very strong.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they played some teams that were not very good. This is a solid win for them, and I mean, they just keep winning. You know, maybe you could get to a Bishop McDevitt Mechanicsburg showdown here.
Yeah, it's worth noting, Brian, that Mechanicsburg, that's now a final, actually, 42-3. Isaac Dolman in the second quarter had a 59-yard rushing TD. So for those who could use a refresh, a couple weeks ago, Isaac Dolman's father died Friday morning unexpectedly from a heart attack. And then, of course, it was a major blow to the Mechanicsburg community. Memorably that night, the rest of the team played. They won the game over, was that the week against Shippensburg? Bottom line is, whoever they defeated, the entire team then went over and delivered a game ball to Dolman and his family. We were there reporting on it. Our Tom DiMartini was on the scene there to witness that event, and also just so we've been chronicling the ongoings with Mechanicsburg hereafter. Isaac Dolman, their star running back, was also out of the lineup last week, but he is now returned to the lineup. Big moment for him, big TD, and big win for the Wildcats tonight.
Yeah, first came back. It'll be interesting to see, you know, if one of our reporters is able to talk with him, you know, and what he has to say. I'm sure there's a lot of emotion there. I know that team's really been playing for him while he's been out, and to have him come back and have that big moment, you know, if they don't win another game, he'll have that big moment coming back in the playoffs. And it's been a special year for Mechanicsburg. Look, Mechanicsburg's had one or two pretty good teams since I've been here, Austin, but they're not one of these programs that is perennially a powerhouse, right? And so this is a really special year for them, and to have him be able to do that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what else we got cooking.
I still can't get over for people to tune in. Southern Columbia is they're done, man. I mean, they're going to get, you know, how many state championships in a row, Austin? Was it, I don't know. Am I wrong? Is it like 6, 7, maybe? Something crazy like that, right?
I'm trying to look. I'm pulling it up right now, actually.
And they are, right now, Troy is beating Southern Columbia in the fourth quarter, 53-20. So you will have a fresh look in that state championship game, 2A state championship. How about Steel High Rollers while you're looking real quick, and we'll come back to you. Steel High Rollers were up 36-7 in the district. Is that the District 3 2A title game?
Yes, sir.
So it looks like
down
the Rollers.
Down at Donegal.
Yeah, so the Rollers, who've won 3 of the last 4 won 8 state championships and got bumped up this year with all of their seniors. I mean, they lost everybody pretty much, Austin. Now they're up at 2A and they win a district title there. So really impressive job by Coach Andrew Irby and his Rollers, man, finding a way, because again, I mean they fought a little bit to stay down in 1A, and they had legitimate concerns. They're very thin, low on numbers, and here they are. Looks like they're going to be district champions.
Yeah.
Again, we got up here.
Yeah,
Also.
Brian, I have that intel on Southern Columbia. That was 7 straight state championships
So
in 2A from Southern Columbia, as well as even let's see, 2 more. So they were in the state final twice in that range. So basically, they've been a state finalist for every season since from 2015 on.
Yeah, and right now,
that's a big one.
Now it's 61-20 is what ScoreStream has. Troy over Southern Columbia, and I mean, I looked on Twitter and I saw halftime score from the report was 32-7 or something like that. So looks like the Southern Columbia Tigers are going to be out of the mix this year. So that's going to open things up in 2A, make it really interesting to see who comes through there. Hey, who knows? Maybe the Steel High Rollers could have a say in that, which would be a shocker. So
that's a good point. Yeah, they may not be the same team this year, but it does, theoretically open the bracket a little bit.
I don't think Lancaster Catholic's bad. They got a really good running back, Brandon Way, and Steel High's beating up on them. So, anyway, what game do we have up here, Austin? What game are we looking at behind us here?
That's a good question.
Southern Columbia, Troy.
Oh, there you go.
There she is.
Yeah, it's hard to say because it says Mansfield on the field, but that's Southern Columbia and Troy.
They're playing neutral site is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So how about this? Southern Columbia getting knocked around by Troy.
Hey, it looks like we're it's handshake time up there in Robesonia. Bishop McDevitt 42, Conrad Weiser 7. The underseeded Crusaders are rolling on. That's one of those. I mean, they're a number 6 seed, as we all know.
Look at that kid,
and it's
look at 65 running out there, folks. That's a big boy coming out there, Austin, against Trinity. Big 65. We got a player down.
Yeah, we got a player down.
That looks like that's one of their guys. We're back here.
Back to Southern Columbia. We got
Troy scored again, so obviously because they're kicking off.
McDevitt's done.
So McDevitt's winning and moving on in 5A.
Yep, it's handshake time over there. We've also got Steel High goes final. Steel High 36, Lancaster Catholic 0.
District champions.
They are district champs. After last year's state title and the questions of what are they going to be this year as they move to Class 2A, and the Rollers have shown that they're not done. So credit to Andrew Irby and his entire group.
Giving you guys CD East and Central York. That is within 2 minutes now. CD East is finally on the board. The Trinity game still has an injury. I'll switch back to that as soon as.
So, yeah, it looks like CD East season is going to come to an end against Central York. And look, it was a great season. They won more games than they ever won in school history. I think they come out the gates 7-0. And then they lost. They had that kind of murderous road going down the stretch of McDevitt and Harrisburg and State College, and lost those 3. Did not bode well to go into the playoffs on a 3-game losing streak, and now they're getting dispatched. But it was a good season. We had some Leon Parsons set a school record for Austin for rushing 315 yards. in a single game. This was cool to have Chase Edmonds, who's a NFL running back. He played there. And they played without their best player all year, Jared Porter.
Yeah.
So he's a Delaware committed running back. And, they had some good guys. They had really good linebackers, Zach Brown, Damaj Jalot, a quarterback, Kenny Young, emerged one of the best wide receivers in the Mid-Penn. Just a rough way for them to end what was a really fun and promising season.
Yeah. I mean, that's the tough part, is that there's so many reasons to take heart those first seven weeks, and like you said about the Leon Parson record-setting night, to get to 7-0. I mean, I think we knew that the backloaded schedule was going to be a challenge, but hey, man, get those 7 wins, get the good feelings. And I think the other piece is that I think we believed that Central York was maybe the strongest in that territory. So it was going to be a tough task to go down there and get the win, I think, is what ultimately we probably thought. So, hey, great season for CD East, nonetheless. What else we got cooking here?
I switched you guys back to Trinity. It looked like the Central's number 51 was the one that was injured. He did get off the field under his own power.
Yeah, Carolyn Fortney just said, look, it's 14-7. Manheim Township is over Cumberland Valley right now. We do have that game streaming as well on Penn Live. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
That doesn't necessarily surprise me, Carolyn. Manheim Township's, we thought was a better team than Cumberland Valley, but it seems like every time they play Cumberland Valley, that's a tough game.
Well, and if you'll remember that Manheim Township was coming off, they had been undefeated. They were defeated last week by Wilson and gave up 34 points. So they, in a way, limped into the playoffs. So that was, they took a sort of, got knocked back, and Cumberland Valley has shown that they can, when they put it all together, it can be pretty strong, because they beat Harrisburg during the regular season, which I think was a big surprise to all of us. So they've shown that in the right situation, in the right matchup, they can do some great things.
62-20 is the update. Troy is beating Southern Columbia in 2A. For people who might be watching this coming in, that's incredible. 7-time state champ. Looks like they're going out in a big way tonight in the playoffs. South Park's up on Mohawk 19-9. South Park's had, they got Eric Doru and a couple running back and a couple guys who are pretty good ball players who've had kind of unheralded careers and seasons. Looks like Fort Cherry with Matt Sigg, the Penn State commit, they are kind of favorites in 1A, and looks like they're having a pretty tight game with Cornell right now. The score I have is 27-20. Fort Cherry's on top, Austin.
Love it.
DeLone is your District 3 1A champs, taking out York Catholic 21-14.
We got an interesting one up in District 11. Number 1 seed Easton is trailing Emmaus, the number 4 seed in 6A. Emmaus leading 20-13, and they have the ball with under 2 minutes to play. So we could see Easton, who's had a really strong year, and of course, like I say, number 1 seed in 6A up there. They could be headed out. We saw Nazareth go out last week with Peyton Falzoni, the quarterback, highly regarded quarterback. They went out. So, yeah, we could see a couple heavy hitters in District 11 go down here in back-to-back weeks.
Another Mid-Penn score, Austin. Muncie 42, Lime Mountain 6. They're beating up on Lime Mountain. Had a nice year, but looks like they're going out. as we scroll through the scores, folks. We're just kind of looking.
Say,
like we said,
all over my tweet deck. I got the fourth streams going down, man. They're coming fast and furious. Just trying to take it all in and try to report as much as I can find here.
For folks that missed it, Steel High is now your District 3 2A champs. Beating I was reading this. Steel High beat Lancashire Catholic. So,
ladies and gentlemen, Evan Wheaton in the house. Uh-oh. We can't hear you.
Can't hear me?
Oh, shoot. Now we can.
Oh, you can. Okay.
What is happening?
10-0 was 1996. I was born in 1996. I was just a little guy. So, bet you with Devitt, 5-6 straight scoring drives. A couple of milestones tonight. Nazir Jones.
Austin, what do you think his audio problem is?
I'm not sure. It might be so windy that it doesn't know what to do. Yeah. Hey, well, Evan, we're having a problem with your audio. We're gonna go over to Nazir Fuller. It may be too windy. Nazir Fuller.
Hey, man. You guys had a lot of questions moving up to 2A from 1A. And you move up and you win a district title. What does that mean? What does that say about this team and this program, man?
It means everything. You know, a lot of places had us 3-7 this year. You know what I mean? I can never imagine being 3-7 with the guys that's on our team, the coaching staff that we have, the trainers and everybody. You know what I mean? We're a family, and rollers don't stop rolling. We just play football and do what we can do, and let God handle the rest.
Nazir, you had the belief, but when did you see it on the field that you knew that you guys were capable of this?
The first game.
Okay.
The first game. Even before the first game, to be honest, we knew what we had. These are the same people that I played with the last 3 years. We knew what we had coming into this, so we let everybody talk and think we were going to do something, and we came out and played football.
Hey, this is a big week for you. Austin, I feel like Nazir is kind of one of the more underrated guys we got going right now in the mid-pen. You know, people might remember the state title game last year. He had a couple big plays, flashed some of that speed. What's the 40 time, Nazir?
Around a 4.4.
I mean, he's fast. You just got a couple college looks this week, right?
Yes, sir.
Who all did you hear from this week?
Huh?
Who all did you hear from this week?
Last week I got an offer from Howard Prep, and then a couple of days ago I got an offer from Lincoln University.
Lincoln, we got some really good players from this area at Lincoln now. So it's been a big week for you, right, man?
Yeah.
Like
Nazir, how much does last year's experience matter of having a deep, special postseason run? Does that matter now?
It does. You know, we've been here before. You know what I mean? This is nothing new. This is not an environment that we're not used to. We've been here multiple times, 5 times in a row to be exact. You know what I mean? So we just come out and play football.
Them rollers, man. Austin, you don't know, they go out and run those hills up in Steelton, right?
Yeah, that's 6th Street Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the last time you guys took on when was the last time you took on the 6th Street Hill?
During summer camp. Thankfully, that was the last time.
Yeah. Irby gets them out on those hills, man. Gets them ready for the year, man. So
yeah, he does.
Well,
hey, give us a look at the medal there. I saw you just put it around your neck.
Just
my third one.
District champs, man. That's good for you guys, man. Again, moving up from 1A to 2A, a lot of success. I mean, when you look at your time in this program, what's it been like? What's it meant to you to be a roller? Because for people that don't know, look, Steel High, the steel mill's closed down. Football's kind of what makes that town go, right, Nazir? So what's it been like for you to be a part of that?
It's great because everybody still wins football. Everybody loves football. Everybody supports football. You know what I mean? They always come and support us as best as they can. They come out to far games like this, come and support. You know what I mean? They love the community and they love us.
And if they aren't doing well, Austin, you let them know about that too. So
Nazir hasn't had to experience that though.
No,
he just said he got his 3rd district title. He knows the good
rolling.
times.
Yeah.
They keep it rolling. When Nazir, man, everybody go check out his huddle. How can they find you on social real quick?
Nas the Jeff Fuller on Twitter. I can't really think about anything else on the top of my head at the moment.
The Jet, Austin.
The Jet.
Yeah,
Yes,
he
sir.
can roll, man.
Nazir.
Look. I haven't been able to see him in person, but I was watching state title game last year, and they had all those seniors, and then they give it to Nazir. And Nazir, you took one to the house last year, right? In the state title
I took
game?
two. I took two to the house.
Yeah, he was rolling, man. I was like, oh, we gotta keep an eye on this kid. So go check out his huddle and his social media. And Nazir, keep it up, man.
Well, he's gonna have good tape from tonight with 3 TDs as well.
Yeah.
So good stuff, man. Nazir, thanks so much for joining us, man. Be well.
Thank you for having me.
All right, the Jet, Austin, checking in.
Love it. 3 TDs tonight, leads Steel High to another district title. This time in 2A, they handled Lancaster Catholic.
Yeah, look, no, you can't teach speed. Can't teach size, can't teach speed. That kid can roll, man.
Actually, can teach speed, Brian. I just want to.
You can't. But
there's a level of natural, like elite speed. Yeah, there has to be something inherent, but you can teach it a little bit.
Nobody's teaching me or you to run a 4.4 is what I'm getting at here.
How dare you? I tell you what, people, I don't stand by this.
We're not getting there. Okay.
So that Southern Columbia game, Troy game, it's now 69-20.
69-20. Troy is beating Southern Columbia. Incredible, Austin. We knew Southern Columbia was not as good as they have been in the past, but you still figured they'd get into 2A, get into the playoffs. They're Southern Columbia. They got a system. That's part of it, right? They run this kind of the same plays. They don't mess up. Don't make a lot of mistakes. And I don't think, we thought it would be a little bit harder for them to get back to the 2A title game this year, but I don't think anybody thought they would lose 69-20.
No, that's a rough way to go down. I mean, that's 10 straight years dating back to 2015 since Southern Columbia was not in the state 2A championship game. So this is the end of a very long streak.
Going to get some
state titles every year since 2017. So
going to get some new blood in the state title game.
Yeah.
So, what's our score here? We got Trinity up behind us. What's our score in this Trinity game?
It's still tied. It's 14-14. They're about to go into overtime.
Okay, we got OT. Love it.
Trinity has had a nice year. I think I picked them to win this game. Schuylkill Valley's had a really nice year too. I think they have the tight end that's pretty good. Luke Spots, I think, is who they had. They've had some guys who've played well for them. And looks like we're gonna now. It looks like Trinity's getting the ball back here, right? Because it looked like Schuylkill Valley's had the ball.
Yeah, there's 12. You can't really see it. There's 12 seconds left in quarter 4.
Don't look like we're kneeling on it, Austin. We're going trips left.
There we go.
Boom, boom.
No time to get bashful now.
We're just gonna hand it off.
Yeah.
You don't want to throw it over there along the boundary.
Exactly.
Into your field.
Yeah.
Somebody took a timeout. Was it Trinity? Why did Trinity take a timeout in this situation? I would have just let it go to overtime.
Yeah. So let's see.
The video's buffering, so I switched you guys back to Cumberland Valley Manheim.
Okay.
So we got Cumberland Valley Manheim up here. What's the score in this one? Do we know?
I can find it.
Oh, there's Eric Epler. Is this? I feel like this is
it's his first time.
PennZone.
Listen, is the audio fine? Can you guys hear me?
Oh, we got you.
Yeah, I don't. I don't have one of the
Epler.
Yeah, I'm sorry to butt in. I don't have a plethora. I don't have any players here, but there's a long list of mechanics for guys.
Well, before we get into that, what do you think about Troy 69, Southern Columbia 20 in 2A? I mean, emphatically getting them out of there, man.
26 now.
Oh, they scored 69-26 right now. Troy's beating Southern Columbia.
Does he have us?
Any thoughts?
Can you hear us, Eric?
there's a bit of a delay.
Well, the cell phone towers out there in Mechanicsburg must be struggling.
Listen, Troy's number 1 and 2A. Troy's number 1 and 2A for a reason.
He knew. Epler knew. Now, conversely, in 5A, Chester's taking a whooping by Westchester Ruston tonight. So we might have a little bit of readjustment there to do in 5A. That one just went final. 45-16 Ruston over Chester. He's struggling to hear us. All right. Well, hey, Eric, thanks for jumping on. Unfortunately,
I feel like it makes him look like more like a thinking man, though. It's like we say something.
It is. He's very contemplative. Yeah.
It's like he's contemplating.
So
I'll tell you what, Epler, before you go, give us your report on Mechanicsburg, what you saw out there tonight from the Wildcats. Obviously, they keep it rolling. They're undefeated. We'll expect a little pause here, and then just give us what you got before you go on Mechanicsburg, your thoughts.
All right, I'm going to get out of your hair.
Yeah, you can't hear us. Bummer. All right. Too bad. Well, hey, at least we saw the.
I feel like Ep is often defeated by technology.
I cannot confirm nor deny.
Technology's running it up on him worse than Troy is on Southern Columbia.
That's right.
You know?
Everybody has their kryptonite.
I don't even think that he would deny that or consider that a dig.
No, he wouldn't. He recognizes.
There is a reason that every time I'm absent from their podcast, they're on there begging me to come back.
Yeah. Central York 40-14 over CD East into the third. So again, rough time for CD East. Looks like they're going out, Austin. Back to Manheim Township and Cumberland Valley.
So Brian, the latest there is Manheim Township 14-7. I need to. I got. What's the latest?
Mark Evans.
There hasn't been an update for a few minutes here. Should be around 4 minutes left.
Mark Evans is a Miami Hurricane, right?
That Troy Southern Columbia game is a final now, 69-28.
69-28. Hey, good for Southern Columbia going for 2. Because it was 69-26, so they went for 2.
That's one way to look at the silver lining. Hey, Brian, it's oof.
Look at this.
Okay.
Offensive lineman Mark Evans, Miami Hurricanes, 6'5", 264. That is your coach at Manheim Township. Oh, Mark.
So over here between Easton and Emmaus, which we just jumped on. So Easton went for 2 and failed. Our Lehigh Valley Live Sports editor Kyle Craig is on the scene. Yeah, so Easton scored the would-be tying TD, the point after try. They went for 2, failed. So it's 20-19. Emmaus just recovered the onside kick, and they are about to see it through. The number 4 seed Hornets about to knock out the number 1 seed Red Rovers up there in District 11.
Red Rovers. That's another. You don't get a Red Rover in every state.
You do not.
You know. And
the
look at the Emmaus. There you go. They're fired up.
The hometown lads fired up.
You guys now have a final. Twin Valley 47, Susquehanna Township 19 from Rymere.
So, final there. Austin. Brett Myers, his Twin Valley team. You know, Brett Myers, like we said, we had him here in Central PA well, I guess he's still in Central PA, but we had him here in the Mid-Penn at Middletown for years and went to a couple state championships. We knew he liked to run the football. We knew that was kind of like a weakness for Susquehanna Township, for all of their explosiveness and weapons on offense. And then, they kind of rough up Susquehanna Township tonight and dispatch them. So
Yeah, one and actually though they are a running team, but their quarterback Evan Myers he's caught
Brett,
my attention a number of times this year. I'm looking through the scoring here, and they had quite a few passing TDs as well here tonight.
he's the
So
coach's son.
I'm going to assume so.
Oh, he is.
I'm not gonna bet my paycheck on that, but
He is. 100%.
okay.
Yep. That's Brett's son.
Well, so right. Okay. Well, perfect. Then yeah. So Brett Meyer's son also leading things under center, and that also is a key contributor
Hey,
to why the Raiders are
that probably
headed
got
into
Brett
the
to
next
open
round.
it up beyond the 4 running plays he ran for the entirety of his career coaching Middletown.
Oh wow. Hey, so on our screen right there, Manheim Township, it was a
Interception in
tipped
there.
interception in the end zone after the ball was tipped. So that probably seals the game.
Looks like that's it. Oh, wow. That's it. Game over. Right?
Well, with the way they're running on the field, was that time expired? Oh my gosh, yeah, they're shaking hands. Wow. So game ending, game sealing interception there as Manheim Township escapes Cumberland Valley 14-7 in the District 3 6A playoffs.
Cumberland Valley, though, was playing with a freshman quarterback. They just started him last week, Colton Stamey, or 2 weeks ago. So, maybe something to look forward there. It's only a second start, and Manheim Township's a really good team, and they get down to that position. So
yeah, wild. Wow. What a finish. Woo!
Yeah, so Brett Myers at Middletown, he ran about 4 plays or 5, maybe 6.
Right.
If he dived deep in this play, but I always felt like it kind of hurt them in the state title games. They weren't very much varied. They had some really good running backs: Jalen, the Thompson kid, Brady Fox, Jose Lopez, who I did some. I mean, I loved Jose Lopez. Great story. I mean, his granddad, his whole senior year, his granddad, who really took care of him, had cancer, and he has since passed. Jose really played for him, was a great running back. Went in Albany for a few, several years and played, but so Brett ran about 4 or 5 plays at Middletown. Looks like he's opening it up a little bit with his son being a quarterback, tossing it around a little bit.
Yeah. Wow. So it looks like we got
Carolyn Courtney was watching that Cumberland Valley game. Carolyn, that was close. Brian Ehrenfield said, "What districts and classes do you cover?" Brian, we are mostly covering. We cover the whole state. Really, we kind of look at everything in the leader in terms of like the ranked teams and outcomes there, and we'll look statewide. We have a hyper local focus, I think, on the Mid-Penn and kind of District 3. But he's looking.
Yeah, so why don't we take this moment to plug all the statewide stuff that we do, because you're right. And we are largely focused in District 3, but Brian each week does a tremendous 22. He does a statewide players top 22. He also does statewide players, which, God, how many was it some weeks, Brian? 222 players of the standouts throughout the state. He scours the entire, all the publications throughout Pennsylvania and pulls out literally hundreds of the top performers each week. So Brian's on top of that. We also have our PennLive state rankings throughout all the classifications in football, the top 10 in each classification. So we've really got, those are our tentpole statewide offerings. So certainly good stuff to check out, as well as we really hit the Mid-Penn hard. So and while here on PennZone, we are keeping an eye on everything. Basically, we're here on the Trinity versus, who's Trinity playing? This is the thing. Things are coming so fast and furious, Brian. I can't even remember who Trinity's playing. Bottom line is, our news of the night:
Schuylkill
Valley up in Leesport.
I called them Central York on Canberra earlier, so you're fine, Austin.
Okay,
Brian Ehrenfield was looking for a Colma Valley score. So,
what's the school?
Colma Valley. We can find that anywhere. I'm not seeing it, Brian. amongst
We will effort
amongst our scores list. But when you, for folks who are coming in, games are wrapping up. Austin, North looks like North Allegheny 35, Mount Lebanon 14, Parkland 26, Freedom 21. Looks like Central York's up 34-7 on CD East. This is all 6A. Central Catholic, Pittsburgh Central Catholic 38-14 over Seneca Valley. Downtown West 41-7 over Owen J. Roberts. I think this was Owen J. Roberts, kind of a historical run for them. Central
it
Buck
was,
South,
yeah. That last week was their first win, first district win since 2009. That's a program that I was closely covered for many years here. So that was a good result for. They have a couple really. Talk about your recruiting list, Brian. They have a couple freshmen, Mekhi Graham and Matt Gregory, who was a state medalist in the sprints this year. They have those two guys are burners and high potential players. Will be highly recruited players as things go on. So they'll certainly be ones to watch.
State College is going final 35-7 over a pretty solid McDowell team. Had Blaze Myers at quarterback. He's had a good career there. That comes to an end. Wilson 28-3 over a pretty solid Cedar Crest team. Wilson's kind of coming into their own. They're a player in the District 3 title picture. I mean, they're really coming along here down the stretch, and I don't think that's any surprise to people. Central Bucks West 35, Downtown East 21. That's 6A. Some ranked teams. 5A, Bethel Park looks like they're going to beat Woodland Hills 34-22. Bishop McDevitt 42-7 over Conrad Weiser. Peters Township keeps their good season going 42-13 over Penn Trafford. Westchester Ruston 45-16 over number 1 Chester. That's the final. So that's gone. Garnet Valley 35-34 final over Strathaven. Just look upon Richland 42-0 over Franklin Regional. Looks like Exeter in District 3 is 24-21 final over what was the number 1 seed there in New Oxford. So
at the same time, I don't know how surprising was that. Exeter's been great for quite a few years. So
Jaden Zandier, however you want to say it.
Yeah, Jaden Zandy, yeah.
He's really good at running back. He's put up some numbers all year. Conestoga Valley looks like they have knocked off Shippensburg 35-24. So there's another mid-Penn team out. Looks like Aliquippa is in the process of going out in 4A. They're down 38-21 to Thomas Jefferson. Twin Valley, as we noted earlier, finished off Susquehanna Township. I think that was 47-19. Austin and Evan Wheaton's Pope John Paul II team is up. Last we saw 49-7 over Springfield Township. Another District 3 score, Austin. Lampeter Strasburg 42, Elko 7 final.
Look out for LS. Pioneers are rolling.
Dallas, which upset McDevitt last year, goes down to Valley View 35-14. McKeesport, the guy, the Ken Monspell kid, he's a Penn State commit, sophomore running back who's really special. They beat the Mars Fighting Planets 35-7. Great name.
Hey, Brian, on the screen here, looks like we got a winner. I think we got a Trinity victory. The Shamrocks are on the field celebrating. That tells me that looks like on the scoreboard 20-17. So it looks like
year.
Trinity for the win.
Who do we have at that game?
We do not.
What a great year for Trinity. What a great year. I mean, they lost so many good players. They lost ranked players. Kids are going to play in college, guys, and they were a 2A school, still are, and they're still doing what they're doing. Just a great coach. I mean, coach of the year in the Mid-Penn is going to be tough. Dave Heckert at Mechanicsburg has got to be in that discussion. Depending on how Harrisburg does down the stretch, Calvin Everett may enter it again, but the guy there at Trinity, and all of a sudden I'm drawing a blank because he's a first-year coach. He's done a heck of a job, man. I don't think anybody lost as much as they have to be where they're at. It's really special for them.
Yeah, to be sure. Kevin Yarnovich.
There you go, Yarnovich.
Who took over for Jordan Hill and, yes, has kept Trinity riding high again. That's been impressive. Monitoring that throughout the year.
3A, Northwestern Lehigh. I've kind of been on their bandwagon all year, 36-7.
Yeah, you were on them early.
They're just a solid team, man. They're just good. Looks like Mount Carmel. Lewisburg 39, Mount Carmel 7. So that's one. Let's see. Trinity 2017 final. Median Springs 42, Berks Catholic 25 is the final. 2A, again, the big news of the night. Troy beating Southern Columbia 69-28. 7-time state champs are out of it, Austin. Looking for anything else that jumps out here. Steel High, as we said, District 3 champs, 36-7 over Lancaster Catholic in 2A.
I do have the info on the game-winning play for Trinity. It was a Boyer to Christian Joy pass over the middle from 17 yards. I'm sorry, 16 yards. So that was apparently Schuylkill Valley put up 3. And then the game-winning TD was scored on 3rd and 16. Christian Joy been doing it all year. Our two-time PennZone guest.
Boog, they call him Boog. Not the biggest guy, but man, he's gotten after it. And look, they had a Division I running back, Penn State commit, Messiah Mickens, transfer over to Harrisburg. And Christian got some of his carries last year, but was kind of his backup. And he's not going to get a Penn State offer. He's not built that way, but he can play for somebody. And I mean, he's probably been one of the best running backs, one of the top 2 or 3 running backs in the Mid-Penn this year. He's had a really special year. So, hey, at 1A Austin, Fort Cherry hangs on with Matt Sigg, the Penn State commit. They beat Cornell 27-20. They're state title favorites, according to a lot of people. So they had a kind of a close call tonight. And then in your District 3 title game, DeLone Catholic beat York Catholic 21-14, Austin. So we're starting to see some let's pull up the District 3 bracket. Are you working on that, Austin? You're seeing who's
I am actually. I'm about to pull that up. Megan's got the scoreboard queued up.
What game do we have Tom DiMartini at?
Tom DiMartini was at CD East Central York.
He says they're up to 31 penalties in that game.
Better him than me.
So they're going to play all night.
Yeah, that game was the last one still streaming. There's 6:16 left to go in the game. Central 47, CD East 14.
That's cold.
Tom says that CD East has 16 penalties and 14 points. So
you don't see that at this stage. The games usually really clean up. I wonder if it's a circumstance of a really tight crew, because that's pretty abnormal for this late in the year to be so penalty heavy.
Well, they did have a week off, so I don't know. So look, Manheim Township, they beat Cumberland Valley. They kind of won in the last play there. They intercepted Cumberland Valley in the end zone. They will advance and play the winner of tomorrow's Harrisburg-Dallastown game. I am looking forward to that game. Carolyn, I know you love Mikey Scott. But that's gonna be an interesting one. He's fast. He's explosive. He was an Arizona State commit, Austin. I believe he's now committed to James Madison for Dallastown. He's a playmaker, and Harrisburg has to play them. Harrisburg, of course, has their own set of playmakers. That's a 4-5 matchup. Harrisburg 8-2, Dallastown 9-1. I think that's going to be a big game at Severance Field at 1:00. So if you're out and about tomorrow, you want to see what I think could be a pretty good, fun game with some guys on both sides of the ball, Austin, who can take it to the house. Harrisburg and Dallastown are in town tomorrow. If I was a Balky man, I'd be out there. I'd be at Severance. And somehow tomorrow at Severance, it'll still be 105 degrees on the field. Even though it's, So it looks like Wilson will move on to play Central York too. So it'll be the winner of Wilson Central York versus the winner of Manheim Township versus the Harrisburg Dallastown winner for the District 3-6A title. So,
on that topic, as we've also mentioned about our wider reach, Dan Sostek, our reporter, did a story with Dallastown, James Madison recruit Michael Scott earlier this week, as he embarks on a matchup with Harrisburg, and I believe he's friends with some of the Harrisburg guys, possibly even Elias Koch. I feel like that's what Dan mentioned. Ramir in the house.
Yeah.
He's in the car. Too windy out there, right?
Yeah, it was freezing outside.
Hey, Ramir was about the only guy. You guys don't listen to the Pennsylvania High School Football Report podcast.
Oh, no.
We were on there this week. We do it twice a week during the season, once a week, year round. And I think I saved him because I did tell him Twin Valley was going to beat Susquehanna Township, and they sure enough did.
Sure enough.
So, what you got, Ramir? What you coming in with?
I was talking with one of the assistant coaches after the game, after I did my reporting and stuff like that, and I told him that I noticed that I saw Hannah 3 times this year. The first time they absolutely destroyed Boiling Springs. Second time they played East Pennsboro, and then tonight. It seemed like every single time they played worse because the teams figured them out, in a sense, I would say. East Pennsboro ran the ball and had success running the ball against Hannah, and Twin Valley just took what East Pennsboro did to a million and really ran the ball all over them. There was nothing they can do. That is Twin Valley's MO. They run the ball a lot, hard, tough nose running, triple option. It's a very fun offense to watch when it's working, and it was definitely working tonight.
Well, I mean, this is not the year that I think Hannah fans envisioned with the type of skill players they had. And Ramir, I know, like you said, I know you saw them early in the season, and you were really excited about that team too.
Yeah.
I mean, so what do you think happened here? Because I still feel like they probably have better athletes overall than Twin Valley. I mean, I don't know. What do you think happened here? I know their Hannah fans are disappointed to be checking out this early in the season.
There were a lot of missed opportunities, I would say. I haven't checked all the stats yet, but Torrin Evans, if you look at the stats, it probably shows that Torrin Evans didn't have a great game. Completion percentage wise and things like that. But he had a lot of passes that were dropped and that probably should have went for a lot longer than 2, 3, 4 yards, because they started off doing a lot of check downs and a lot of stuff behind the line of scrimmage, a lot of wide receiver screens, a lot of bubble screens. Started off doing things like that, and it was working. The first drive they went down and scored. Lex Cyrus, I believe, had a 39-yard touchdown off of one of those bubble screens, and after that they kind of got away. They kind of got away from it and started trying to take the shots down the field. After they went down, really after they dropped, there was a 16-point swing within 28 seconds. And after that, they got away from what was working. They tried to take those deep shots. Or if it wasn't a deep shot, it was a run up the middle with Rakai Seville. And it didn't look like they had a plan on offense after they went down. It looked like they were just trying things or trying to, get all the points back in one drive.
Well, like I said, I know they're disappointed. They still had a good year. I know their fans are a little bit disappointed with the guys they had. Lex Cyrus, obviously the South Carolina commit. That's it for him. Really a remarkable career there. So tough one going out for Hannah, man. I know you were on that, and look, Hannah can look shiny at times, right? They can look like that nice car, that they can look like that sports car, man. Like they can go, and then but if you can get after them a little bit, I think in the run game and stuff, it unraveled a little bit for them this year.
Yeah, that Ferrari isn't always, that's not an everyday car.
Yeah.
Not an everyday car.
Oh man. Tough one.
Yeah, very.
Well, Austin,
Guys, can I offer up one as I'm scouring these scores? Can I offer you up the weirdest result of the night?
What you got?
West York was a winner over Eastern York. The score 5-3.
I picked Eastern York. They got Bud Kyle.
5-3. Is that
5-3.
origami? Has that ever been done?
That's a good point. Yeah, I got to find more details about that. I mean, woof.
I picked Eastern York too. Quinn Bramble at quarterback. Of course, West York had Isaac Roberts. I know guys. I know
That's
names.
why. You damn sure couldn't have picked 5-3 as the final score, though.
Hey, how about next week, 5A District 3 semifinals? It's going to be 10-0 Mechanicsburg hosting 10-2 Bishop McDevitt.
You talked to Tom about that yet?
7:00. Who we got? Who we going with?
I mean, McDevitt on the heater right now.
Yeah, that is the correct answer.
This is the game everybody wanted to see, though, in Mid-Penn Country. Because this has been a historical season for Mechanicsburg. On paper, they should not win this game. McDevitt has the SEC committed quarterback in Stone Saunders and the big names, but this is going to be a huge game. And for people that missed it earlier tonight, Ramir, Isaac Dolman came back. His father died tragically 3 weeks ago now before their game. Team wins the game, gets in the bus, drives over his house, delivers the game ball. He misses the last 2 games of the regular season and comes back tonight. He scores a big touchdown for them in the win. Yeah.
I would just like to let our audience know that Brian was the only one to not pick Mechanicsburg tonight.
Fake news, Megan. Fake news.
Megan coming out. Letting the people know.
It's on our website. Check out PennLive.com.
We're now at a point in
but he was also the only one to pick Eastern York.
We are now at a point in our country. All you have to say is fake news, and it didn't happen. It's not real. It's not a fact. Fake news. Huh? Nuh-uh.
Hey,
that's all you
works.
Can't say anymore. Nuh-uh.
Apparently so.
Well, you were the only one to pick Eastern York as well.
Yeah, I was. Look, I went out on a limb on a few, just trying to make up some ground. So what? So what, Megan?
Well, I'm picking Mechanicsburg. I think they're going to beat Bishop McDevitt.
You and Tom.
People can hear you on our feed right now, right?
Yes, they can.
We got beef, Megan. We got beef.
But they can go on our website and see your picks.
You play EA Sports college football? You need to get on the stick so I can beat you in college football now. Megan.
Oh, no, that's just not fair. You'd need a mercy rule for me.
Come on.
I don't even have a PlayStation 5. I have a Switch.
No, Ramir, don't even say nothing. You're not going to play me because you every time
he smoked you too hard before.
I got bragging rights already. I don't need to say anything else.
I got to do this. I got to do that.
Brian, I can't even play you. I have a Switch, not a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox.
Whatever.
The wheels are falling off here.
Ramir,
go do your story.
Of course.
Yeah, Ramir.
And then get on the huddle. I'm about to bring on these brackets.
Yeah.
So, all right, bud. We'll talk to you
guys
later.
You have Exeter and Conestoga Valley on the other side. So look, I think the winner of Mechanicsburg and McDevitt, which I'm going to pick McDevitt, and if Mechanicsburg wins it, what a great story for them. Wow, what a great story. But
truly, yeah, I think that is the one piece here where, yeah, maybe we won't be picking them, but yeah, what a story if they're able to do that.
I think the winner of that game might go win your district championship. So, but you know what? I mean, Exeter's solid enough, and look, Conestoga Valley, they got the Jaden Johnson kid who's pretty talented. They got some guys that shoot. They're 10-0 for a reason. I mean, sometimes playing in the LL, I don't know what division of the LL they're in, what section, is not always the toughest competition. But, look, I've gotten a lot of their guys in the statewide kind of top guys throughout the week, so they're doing good. Week 12 Mid-Penn scores. Look at that. Bishop McDevitt 42, Conrad Weiser 7. Cumberland Valley falls in the last play of the game. Colton Stamey throws an interception in the end zone. Manheim Township 14, Cumberland Valley 7. I've been drinking Zoa energy drinks, so I'm all fired up, Austin. Trinity takes down Schuylkill Valley in overtime. A Boyer touchdown pass to Christian Book-Joy. 20-17. They move on. Mechanicsburg just stomps out Cocalico 42-3. I picked that game. Megan changed it on our pick'em. If you see it online, you'll see that it looks like I picked Cocalico. It's fake news, fakenews.com. Conestoga Valley 35-24, ending a really good season for Shippensburg. They ended at 10-2, I believe, or maybe 10-2. Lancaster Catholic goes down to Steel High 36-7. District 3 2A title goes to the Rollers, and we had the Jet, Nazir Fuller, on here showing off his new bling, Austin, the District 3 medal. And Central Dauphin East in a game that apparently had 57 penalties or something like that.
It's still going.
That is the final.
It is now?
It is. It just ended.
47-14. They lose to Central York. Really good year for them. Set a school record for wins. Then they had to kind of run that murderer's row going into playoff of State College, Harrisburg, and Bishop McDevitt. So get beat up a little bit down the stretch, and then you got to play a pretty darn good Central York team. So they take 4 in a row to end it. They finished their season 7-4, I believe. So Lance Dean and his guys, like we said, they played without their best player all year in Jared Porter. They had some kids step up, though. It was a good year for them. What else, Austin? You got the brackets yet?
I'm doing it, man. They'll be there momentarily. Just give me 1 minute, and I will have your brackets for you.
1 minute, folks. Austin says he'll have the bracketed 1 minute.
This is the behind the curtain stuff.
I just burn out all my energy. Now I'm yawning.
Hosting. It all went fast, folks.
I'll tell you what, next week, as you work on them, I'm looking ahead. That District 3 4A semis, that Twin Valley Lampeter Strasburg game will be pretty darn good.
Well, that's a rematch, if you may remember, and that was the result that
Lampeter
everybody realized. Oh, the Pioneers are the number 1 team in that because they smashed Twin Valley in that regular season meeting. So I think it's fair to say that the Raiders will be looking for a get back on that one.
Right.
Actually, speaking of that, Brian, that was an interesting one that I ran into earlier. Was Beaver and Avonworth met for a second straight week. Beaver defeated Avonworth this is out in District 7. Beaver defeated Avonworth in their regular season finale, got a bye, and then met Avonworth again after Avonworth won their playoff game last week, and Avonworth put a whooping on them. Avonworth won 42-21. So kind of a rough way to go for Beaver out there.
The Antelopes.
The Lopes.
Tomorrow, we got another game tomorrow. Wyomissing is hosting East Pennsboro. And that's a tall order for East Pennsboro. But they're a scrappy bunch. Aaron Angelo and J.J. Gossard. And got a little quarterback. Right now I'm drawing a blank with his name. He's put up some yards down the stretch. We had Aaron Angelo on here last week.
Hey, Brian, I got the brackets going here. All right.
Last year. Oh, here we go. We got some brackets.
So we got Steel High as a winner there. They defeated Lancaster Catholic. That one's not too difficult, but let's keep it moving here.
Yeah. That's your District 3 2A champs, the Rollers.
Over here.
Man.
Winners there.
You're going to buffer on me here?
Sorry. You got me?
You and Epler in technology tonight.
Oh, man. Am I still no good?
We have no bracket.
I see your bracket.
I have no bracket.
Ooh. I have a bracket. It's not fake news. Well, now Austin's just frozen.
Yeah. Him and Epler, Megan, and technology.
That's an interesting face right there.
Yeah, look how he got stuck with that face. You missed your stuck face there. It was great.
Am I back?
You're back, and I still see a bracket.
Now I got a bracket.
Okay. Thank you.
Trinity.
Look, my internet has stunk for the last 48 hours or so. So I'm just glad we made it through the show. Over here in District 3, Class 3A, Bermudian Springs defeated Berks Catholic. So they're moving on to the final, and they will face Trinity, who we saw defeat Schuylkill Valley in overtime, 20-17. Christian Joy with the game-winning touchdown.
I'm taking Trinity in that one. I'm riding with the mid-Penn team in that.
Love it. Moving on to 4A. See what we got. Still buffering? No, are you clean through? You got it, Brian?
Now we got it.
All right. So over there in 4A, Lampeter Strasburg hammered Elko tonight. They're into the, as you just mentioned, Lampeter Strasburg versus Twin Valley. We were just talking about it. That'll be one of the semifinals on the lower half. West York in that wild one, 5-3 over Eastern York. They will face the winner of tomorrow's game at Wyomissing against East Pennsboro. So East Pennsboro holding it down for Aaron Angelo, J.J. Gossard and company, headed down to Wyomissing to try to knock off the perennial power.
Would be a stunner if they beat them. I think you're probably going to see an LSYO game for the district title, which would be a pretty darn good game. But I'm not – Twin Valley, who knows? They might put up a good scrap with LS again the second time around after getting the brakes beat off of them in the first game.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's those are the teams that have shown themselves. I mean, it's the 4A has been an interesting bracket to monitor throughout the year. So I know we've enjoyed that and had our eye on it. 5A coming right up. Brian, you want to take this one while I finish off 6A?
Yeah, Exeter, Conestoga Valley, one side in the semis. Mechanicsburg, Bishop McDevitt on the other side. Again, Mechanicsburg and Bishop McDevitt, Austin, that is the game that everybody in Mid-Penn Country kind of wanted to see. Mechanicsburg is still undefeated. McDevitt's lost a couple games, but those happen to have come against Harrisburg and State College. 6A teams that are really good, still in the playoffs themselves, and pretty good seeds in the playoffs. A lot of people, I think, will be favoring Bishop McDevitt, even though they're the lower seed in this one, 2 versus 6. That's going to be really interesting. I think whoever wins that game is probably going to win the district title. When you look at the top half of it, Exeter is really good. They got Jaden Zandier kid at running back. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing his name. Apologies. He's done really well. His brother actually is a tight end a bigger kid who went to Coastal Carolina.
Ty, I believe.
And is doing pretty well. or Zach. Zach might have been Zach. Whatever. His brother's at Coastal Carolina, big tight end. And then Conestoga Valley's had a really nice year playing in the LL. Got a kid, Jaden Johnson, an athlete who's really good, does a lot for them. They're undefeated. I still think, they're probably the underdog right now in this final sort of semifinal matchup group to make it along. But I'm thinking McDevitt's probably going to win that overall. We'll see.
Yeah, I think that's right. Moving on to 6A. It's been chalk so far. Manheim Township needed to escape Cumberland Valley tonight. They had a game-sealing, game-ending interception to close that one out, 14-7 over Cumberland Valley. Manheim Township will next face the winner of tomorrow's game between Dallastown and Harrisburg. Wilson moved on with a one-sided victory over Cedar Crest, and Central York finally finished off Central Dauphin East. I believe that was 49-14 as a final. So your seeds have held true in 6A.
If I had to pick a team right now, I would pick Wilson to win this, and I've always kind of roll with Harrisburg because of what they've done. The loss to Cumberland Valley, they kind of gave that one away a couple weeks ago. Kind of scares me, but I think their game against Dallastown tomorrow should be pretty good. I think the winner of that game, again, Dallastown has Michael Scott, who was an Arizona State commit. Now he's headed to James Madison. He's a speedster. They got some guys, some good athletes themselves. Harrisburg's kind of loaded with good athletes. Whoever wins that game, and I think Harrisburg's going to win it. I think they'll beat Manheim Township, and then they'll end up playing. I think Wilson, and right now I would say Wilson's the team that's kind of on the hottest streak. Central York obviously had a good win tonight. I would take Wilson now in 2 weeks. If the matchup's Harrisburg and Wilson, I'm gonna have to step back and look at it a little tougher because it would still be hard for me to pick Harrisburg to lose to Wilson. I've covered a couple Harrisburg Wilson games late in the year, man, and the playoffs and whatnot, where Harrisburg's found a way across the last 7, 8, 9 years to take down the Bulldogs. So I think this is going to be a fun one, shaping out some really strong, solid ball clubs.
Yeah, I like the way you're thinking there. That really could be the way it shakes out, and really, I think it's pretty interesting. Oh, we got Tom DiMartini. Who do we have with us?
We have Tyler Fry from Central York. 2 touchdowns tonight in a 47-14 win over CD East. Very high-scoring game. Tyler, we have Austin Herzog, sports editor, on the other line. Go ahead, guys.
Tyler, what stands out the most about this win tonight for you guys?
Stands out the most, they were very, very chippy, and I'm glad we didn't get in our own heads and we didn't, play down to them. I'm glad we all stayed focused and composed, and I'm glad we got this win. It was a great win. Now off to Wilson. So.
Austin, I think a lot of people remember, Bo Fabula and what he did there at Central York, but Gary Yonchek's over there now coaching those guys. And Tyler, you guys have really kind of got the program going where you're kind of in this mix now every year in District 3 6A. What's it like to be a part of this program right now, and how's this program feeling, and what's the feel around this program right now at Central York?
It's simple. We win. I mean, we got Wilson next week. I really, in my 4 years, we won the first game of the playoffs, and we've always lost the second. So this year I want to be different. It's my senior year. The atmosphere is just we win, and we work extremely hard in the off season. We deserve everything that comes to us since this win, and I'm super proud of all these guys, and I love my team.
We know.
Tyler, what have you learned from the previous experiences of having those losses in the second round and your second game at districts? What have you learned that you're going to try to implement this week to change that, to get on the right side of that second game?
Just practice hard like we've always been. I mean, just keep being positive, keep pushing everyone else, make everyone else better. Practice like champions, play like champions. And what I've learned from the losses, it really sucks to lose every year. So we don't, especially my senior year, I'm not going home. So I got to really take it to it. So, yeah.
Well, I think, Tyler, since I've been here, I think York football is kind of, not Central York in general, but York football, all the schools over, kind of got a bum rap. But I think you guys have kind of been the ones kind of lifting up York football in a major way and carrying that banner. You guys feel that, or what have you guys heard around that, and what's you guys' take on that?
Yeah, we're not an average York team. We want to compete in districts every year. Our goal is not to win the York Adams League. Our goal is to win districts. So we haven't lost since like 2018 in York, and we plan to keep like that years from when I'm gone. And our goal, we don't look at York. We just look at districts, and I think that's our main goal, district championship.
That CD, they're cutting out the lights on you, man. Look, that's why that CD East team. We know they had some really good athletes. You know, how were you guys able to have success that night? And, like, what challenges they present? And you guys beat them up pretty good. So, how are you guys able to put that all together against them?
I have to give credit to our defensive coordinator, says he always puts a good game plan for us, even with our best players. I mean, we were really prepared, and he makes sure we practice like champions, like I said earlier. And all credit to our defensive coordinator, Mike says for sure.
Austin, they've cut the lights out on the man. You got anything else?
I know we got to let him go. Tyler, thank you so much for joining us, man. We really appreciate it. Congrats on the win. Well done. Keep it rolling next week. Good luck against the Bulldogs.
It's a big one next week against Wilson, right?
Yeah, it is. All right, thank you.
I got you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Tom.
Thanks, Tom.
See you.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
Hold up. You can see it on
YouTube.
Love it, man.
Like almost over 30 penalties in that game.
Yeah. Hey, good stuff from, like you were saying though. They really have. They've been the front runner in from the York crew all year. They prove it there to get in. But as Tyler alluded to, it's next week is the one that really is the defining game. If they can find a way to beat Wilson to get into that district final, that'll be a big result for them. So
everybody around here always tries to say that the York teams aren't really tough. They can't physicality when it comes to playing your mid-pen teams or stuff like that in the postseason. That's always been a knock on them. Josh Oswald acknowledged that when he was coaching in the York Adams League. You know, but Central York, they built that program and got to a point where they've been to a state championship with Bo Pabula, and got, they had to play St. Joe's Prep, which was loaded. Had Kyle McCord at quarterback. But it's a good program there at Central York. It's a consistent program. It's a threat to anyone at this point.
Yeah. Love it. Well, hey, Brian,
Austin, what do we got? We got any more statewide? Did Aliquippa win or lose? Do we know?
I'll find out. I was gonna say, I think we're
statewide.
Aliquippa defeated 38-21.
So there's another giant statewide that has fallen. So Aliquippa's out. Southern Columbia, 7-time state champs in 2A, is out. Any other big games fall tonight? That's the two big ones, Austin, statewide. Yep, Thomas Jefferson beats Aliquippa. Jersey Shore fell to Shamokin, 28-27. So they're out. Dallas loses to Valley View 35-14. McKeesport knocks off Mars 35-7. Yeah, Danville won. I'm just been reading scores.
Okay. I do have
Lewisburg 30.
A fact Brian, about Aliquippa. It's the first time since 2007 that the Quips did not reach the Whitfield title game. The last team to stop them, 2007. Let's test your memory.
Austin is very delayed.
Do you guys have me?
Now you've caught up now.
Okay. Well, hey, that's probably the bottom line is last team to stop them, Jeanette Jayhawks, 2007, Terrell Pryor.
Well, that was a pretty good high school football player there.
One of those.
Hey, Still Valley won 36-13. They got the Barksdale brothers they'll be all over the box score guaranteed. Donald and the other one starts with a D too. I'm drawing a blank, but
all I can think of is Avon Barksdale.
Deron. No, it's not the Wire. It's not the Avon Barksdale.
Avon Barksdale. Stringer Bell. Come on, man.
Yeah, Deron and Donald, man. And they go crazy on both sides of the ball for Steel Valley, man.
Love it. We'll look out for the Barksdale bros.
Yeah.
Hey, why don't we call it, Brian? Things were coming fast and furious tonight. We got the brackets. We had you and me. We had a few good guests. We had Nazir Fuller off of Steel High's District 2A championship victory. That was good stuff. We just had Tyler Fry of Central York, the number 3 seeds, moving on. Good stuff throughout the night. We gotta let you.
You froze up, Austin. Megan, this means I get to take it home. And this is what we're going to say. I'm now in charge of the ending as he froze up again. Look at him. He's making that face like, hey, take it home, Linder. Now he's back. Austin, can you hear us, Austin? Look, now he's froze again. Hey, Austin, you got to there's a such thing as high-speed internet now. And I'm guessing what happened is you have dial-up internet, and your wife's probably picking up the phone right now. And she's probably hearing all the beeping and screeching or whatever, and that interrupts your feed.
Folks, Brian was the one who had Milli Vanilli on at the beginning of the show.
Hey, I can play us off if you want to. Look, now he's out. His internet's
out. All right, Brian, finish the show.
Austin has bootleg internet. That's how we're going to finish the show. I think you know what? I think he's stealing his neighbor's Wi-Fi.
Oh my God.
I wish I was. If it's going to be this terrible, I wish I was.
Yeah.
All right, Brian, take it home.
Hey, we got a bunch of stuff coming up on Penn Live. We'll have statewide scores from tonight. I don't even know if there were any games played last night, but if we have them, we'll have those too. We'll have a statewide scoreboard for your playoffs. We got a bunch of mid-Penn games we covered tonight. Hey, we didn't even mention tomorrow. I'm going to be watching it. But, Austin, I'm really excited. Tomorrow is the big statewide St. Joe's Prep versus LaSalle College game. You know, and we had LaSalle College's quarterback on here last week. Gavin Sidbar, kid is special. He was a Rutgers decommitted. He visited Syracuse over the weekend. That was a special game earlier this year. It's 4 overtimes, and LaSalle College pulled it out. So, are you froze again, Austin? He's froze again. The lesson today is don't steal your neighbor's Wi-Fi. Or, actually, you know what? The lesson is if you need to steal your neighbor's Wi-Fi to log on to PennLive.com, it's acceptable in some cases to we won't call it stealing. We'll call it borrowing your neighbor's Wi-Fi like Austin does. If it means that you can get on to PennLive.com and check out all of the great content we have there. So like Austin borrows, we won't call it stealing his neighbor's Wi-Fi. You too can borrow your neighbor's Wi-Fi to log on to PennLive. And if they come over and they yell at you, you can tell them that you're just doing what Austin Herzog told you to do at PennLive, which was borrow their internet to log on. And kids, guess what? You don't even have to ask your parents' permission to borrow your neighbor's Wi-Fi. You can just do that and log right on to PennLive without even asking for permission.
But you probably need a password.
Now I know. Now I know why I was the one who always took it home. Kids, don't steal your neighbor's internet.
You don't even
buy a subscription to PennLive.
You don't even need your parents' permission to buy a subscription to PennLive, kids.
Please listen to the latest episode of the PA High School Football Report, where Brian takes Rymir to task for never watching a movie.
You can buy. In fact, you can buy 2 or 3 subscriptions to PennLive, kids, with your parents' credit cards and give them to friends and family.
That's true. Gift subscriptions, folks. As we come in here towards Christmas, that is a great idea. Gift subscriptions. Kids, don't steal your parents' credit card. It's not worth it, but we do appreciate your support. Hey, folks, look out tonight for a lot of the game action. We've got our 5 reporters taking things home. We've got coverage from everywhere. We've got coverage from everywhere. We've got the state scores. We'll have the state scores up very shortly. We're going to have game stories throughout. We'll have coverage from Harrisburg. Harrisburg tomorrow afternoon versus Dallastown. And we've got a full weekend ahead of across all of our different teams, our high school teams. Penn State whiteout game tomorrow night. We've got the Penn State crew up there. We've got Nick Farabaugh with the Steelers. He's headed to Washington for the Sunday matchup against the Commanders. Things are going to be packed here on Penn Live. So thanks for joining us for another edition of PennZone. We'll see if we're back next week. Hopefully we are. If not, it was a great first season. Actually, I think we have enough. We'll have enough to be able to continue next week. Megan's like, of course
we can go through the end of the season, man. We got, we can go all the way to state.
As Brian has frequently mentioned on the podcast, he can talk football 24/7. We will have a show next week.
Look, I know names of kids. I know these kids in Pittsburgh, and I know these kids in Erie, and I know these kids in,
I mean, I'm just trying to give the people a third screen streaming option. If we don't have access to games, then that's where it falls apart. But Brian, you're the least of the issues. I know that you can sit there and go on about Pennsylvania high school football for hours and hours. So that is not in question.
If I'm 9 years old and I follow your advice, how am I supposed to know who the top stars in the Mid-Penn were tonight?
You're going to come to us. We're going to let you know.
I guess you probably should ask your parents' permission, kids.
To the advanced lawyers, we are not endorsing any theft whatsoever.
You probably should listen to Austin. I did get in a little bit of trouble in high school. Anyway,
folks, thank you for joining us. Omit everything of the last 5 minutes. He was yawning. He's losing his way tonight. But hey, we're going to rein him back in. We thank you for joining us. Have a great